All right, guys, welcome back. It is a cold, rainy, crappy day here in New Hampshire, and it's like 40 degrees outside and just crap out. And on Monday, today's Friday, Monday's supposed to be like 91 degrees, so Mother Nature is, she's drunk. So anyways, today I'm doing something actually kind of new, actually very new, and it's the first time I've done it. So about a month ago, I had someone reach out to me from the an FBI task force, and they asked if I could build a couple holsters for their Glock setup, but they didn't have the light, or I didn't have the light. So sent me the light, which is awesome. So I mocked it up on me Glock 43, and this is a Crimson Chase. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a Viridian, and it's a CTL Slim. It's made for the Glock line. As you can see, it's flush with everything, and we are going to make a holster for it. So I already programmed it, machined it, got everything going, and now all the materials in so I can finally build it. It's been sitting for about a week because I just spaced ordering the material. Yeah, go figure. So much going on. But I got the mold right here. It is cleaned up, drilled, ready to go. And we're doing two particular setups. This one, I'm going to do just the inside tuckable version. And I don't think I'm going to film the level 2 because, I mean, I've been doing a lot of level 2s lately and I've been posting them. So what's another one? But all we need for this one, for the inside of the waistband, are these two pieces of blocking. And we're going to get it going. And this is going to be tuckable with RCS clips. So Viridian, RCS, Home Depot pine, and a little bit of me. Let's get this going. Now, when you're lining up stuff to do, let's see here, to do these jobs, when you're doing RCS, you want the RCS to line up with this. So you want the build to line up with that guy. So as you can see here, we are lining this up right here, and we're not going to go all the way to the edge. I'm just going to leave just a little bit, and that way there's going to be less rocking because it's going to be contacting right here. So let's see here, that's good right there. And the reason why I'm doing the thicker version and the thinner version is because this is going to be a little bit higher anyway because of the light. But I'm going to put this out as far as I can, and we are just going to tape those in place and then do it. So there's a little trick for when you're doing these setups. You want them all lined up in the same because we are going to put a claw on this as well. Now the mold is already blocked, easy enough, just two pieces of blocking, and our Coyote Brown is already in the press. So now it's just a little bit of a waiting game, and as soon as it reaches temp, pull it out, form it, and see what it does. This is my first time doing a mold with this light on it, so I treated it like a TLR7. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine retention-wise, but again, there's only one way to find out, and we'll see what happens. This pulls. Looks pretty good, actually. All right, we'll see how well it goes. The retention is right there, and we'll see. Mold is drilled, looks pretty good inside and out. I'm going to go ahead, cut the outer circumference, and then I'm going to do a test fit to see if it works, because it's pointless to fold it and do everything else I got to do if it's just not going to work. Now, can we make it work with a heat gun? Absolutely, but I'm trying to be at that point when I'm making molds where you don't have to modify anything. So let's see how this goes. All right, so we're cut here, right? Obviously, this is the side with the retention. This is the side with not, or with none. And that goes in there pretty good. And it does catch. That's good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fold it, and we'll get this going. I'm looking forward to actually being able to get this out and get this out to this gentleman. Well, that folded pretty good. As you can see, I got oil fingerprints on there because I cleaned it before folding, but that's clean. Looks real good. All right, let's trace. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna come out. I like to I like to leave adequate space, because when you squish down on the rubbers, I don't like them leaving out. So I just like to go a little bit thicker on that. Some people hate it, you know, especially other holster makers that think, you know, my shit don't stink. So, but That's why they have their own business. Maybe we could clear optics right here if we go low enough. Like so. And line this up. So what I'm doing is I'm looking straight down and I'm drawing on the outside of the trigger guard. Then it's just a game of connect the lines. And go ahead and cut. And then we're gonna whoop right there. All right, we are cleaned, folded, buffed, everything we need to do. Let's assemble this. We're gonna do dual RCS overhooks with the claw, and let's see how it turns out. I might have to heat something up. We'll see. We're not gonna know until we get there. All right, so first, we are gonna start. Actually, let's do bigger screws because it's all right. Let's get the RCS hooks in here because fat fingers and enclosed stuff doesn't work that well. And I'm just installing, these are 1/4 inch. Come on. Fell out of my finger. 1/4 inch threaded posts and 1/4 inch rubber. If I could get it in there. There we go. All right. And then these are 0.4375, and what I like to do is just hold it with that and get it started. And then you could set them in after, hold the threaded post if you need it. There you go. And one thing you want to do is when you're installing these, you just want to make sure that you're not poking through the bottom because you're going to scratch the firearm. That seems pretty good right there. All right, so now we're going to do the claw. So we'll set up the claw. Every time I do a claw, it comes with both sides, but I put the shorter one on here. And you could either remove it or replace it with the larger one. You can do whatever you want. Your setup. And then we're going to take some, these are 1/4 inch pass-throughs. The reason why I use pass-throughs is because they're thinner on the edge. And then these are 3/4 inch screws. So we'll get those going. And this is how I mount mine so you can't rotate. A lot of other companies, you could do this with their claw. It's absolutely annoying. I hated it. So I told myself, we're not going to do that. That's why I do one long screw in the pass-through. And then we're going to see if this is big enough. And generally what I'll do is I'll throw this in here. And especially with this being fresh, okay, so there is a little bit of retention on there, which means we're going to have to go with bigger bushings. And I might have to heat up the side channel, no big deal. But let me get those bigger bushings. Oh, look at that, they're right here. Let me get those on there, which means we're going to use 1/4 inch, which we normally don't. I usually do 1/8 inch. And then we'll get our screwdriver. Yeah, retention is good. A little tight on the top of the slide, so I'm going to go ahead and heat that up. And to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take some thicker tape. We're going to put it right here and just fold it over the edges. And the reason why we're doing that is we're going to give a little bit of girth on the gun And that way it will spread out the kydex when we insert it. So all I'm going to do is heat up right here on these corners and then reinsert the gun. See how tight that is now? And then we'll cool it while it's in there, and then we should be fine after the fact. So that's a good way. If you get too much retention on light bearing, generally it's because the distance between the top and the bottom is too tight. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat this up real quick, and I'm just going to put it on the notes on the mold. All right, so we're going to try it now. Just going to pull this off, and we'll see. Sometimes you have to do it more than once, but we did that. Oh, beautiful. But we are going to tighten up this end now, just a little bit. Actually, I think that's pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten the front one, leave the back one alone, and what that's going to do is actually going to open it up a little bit. That is pretty good. I am liking that right there. So, we know it works. This, God, I love this. Well, guys, this holster came out absolutely phenomenal. I really enjoy the way it came out. The full process is an absolutely fun process. It's got good retention. Everything is perfect. Now, the mold I'm going to have to modify a little bit for the next run. No big deal, but I know what has to happen. Obviously, I have to heat up right here on each side of the slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple layers of tape on the mold itself, and then bam, good in the future. So now I have to build an outside the waistband for this same setup for this agent. So this particular setup is going to have a Safariland mid drop, but this is actually the TRS duty drop, which is from Talon Retention Systems. This is what I use. I like it better than the Safariland because it has the holes in it for the thigh strap if you want it. Receiver plate, QLS fork, and of course the Talon Level 2 spring-loaded hood. So this is going to all go on together, and I'm going to do that now. Don't need to film it. You guys have seen 100 of those, but doing a, I mean, you've seen these too, but this is a tuckable IWB holster with claw, and honestly, I have zero complaints with it, so I'm going to clean it up, and it's going to go out to this particular agent. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to do more videos with the programming aspect because a lot of people nowadays with 3D printing and whatnot, and I'm going to team up with another bender, and we're going to do a 3D printed mold, and we're going to go back and forth. It's going to be a pretty cool collaboration, so stay tuned for that, because while this CNC is running, my 3D printer is going to be printing them as well, so I could double the output of molds I have until I get another CNC machine. But that's a story for another video. So huge shout out to Holstersmith and Knife Kits. They provided everything I use to make these molds or make these holsters and get them out to the customers for you guys to beat the hell out of them and do your thing. But I got a lot to do, no time to do it. I got to go get the kiddo from school. I got to set up for a trip I'm doing this weekend. And I will see you guys in the next one. Keep moving forward. Love you. Bye. Okay, but for real, what kind of person would I be if I didn't show you the outside of the waistband and go with it? So here we have the level 2 on the QLS setup on the mid drop, like I said. And again, this came out awesome. And like I said, going to the FBI guy down south, and I hope he enjoys it. Stay safe, brother.